Carrying a weight, it can be something that is very difficult as you go through life. The more you carry, the longer you carry, the heavier things become. So what's a different way to think about this? How do we deal with the weight that we're carrying? That's what I'm talking about today, so let's get started. So here in Colorado, we have lots of backpacking, all sorts of different kinds of packs. We have packs for day trips, for overnight trips, long hikes, short hikes, and then we have backpacks for a week-long trip. You're going into the mountains for a long time. And when you're going on those long trips, when you're spending multiple days and multiple nights up in the mountains, one of the most important things for you to consider is how heavy is your pack? How much weight are you actually carrying? And those backpackers, they know that the key is low weight. They're going to spend extra money on lighter supplies. They're going to spend extra time ensuring for everything that they carry to be as light as possible. They'll check the weight of everything, from their tent to their sleeping bag to their clothing, socks. How many socks do you need? Food, water filtration, because you certainly can't carry water. That's too heavy. Stove, first aid, everything. And then they'll go through their gear again and figure out what is it that can be left behind. What is the extra weight that can be left behind that we don't need to carry on this trip? Because they know that carrying extra weight will make it very difficult to complete the journey. They know that the longer they have that weight on their back, the heavier that it's going to feel. It doesn't change the weight, but it feels heavier. Carrying 40 pounds for 1 hour is very different than carrying 40 pounds for a week through the mountains. That same 40 pounds is going to feel an awful lot heavier the longer that you carry it. So the key is packing light. And we should take this same approach to the invisible weight that we're carrying in our own lives. The guilt, the pain, the suffering, the sin. In our own emotional backpack, what are we carrying that we have to let go of? What is something that you've put in your pack that it's time to unload? What are you continuing to drag around with you that you have to get rid of? What can you drop that isn't really essential after all? Those are very important questions for you to consider because it's hard to go through this life carrying so much. So stop carrying so much weight. Drop it. Let it go. Get rid of it. What you do end up carrying when it gets heavy, remember what Jesus said in Matthew 11:28 through 30. He said this, "Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I'm humble and gentle at heart, and you'll find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light." You don't have to keep carrying all that weight. You know that the longer you carry it, the heavier it becomes. So drop what you can and turn to Jesus. I see this all the time with men. They're carrying weight. They're carrying a burden. They're carrying something that has been bothering them, holding them down, weighing them down for years, often decades. You need to let it go. It's no longer serving you. It's no longer helping you. It's no longer a benefit to you in your life. So drop the weight. Choose to stop carrying so much and instead run to Him. He's told you what to do. He's told you how to act, how to live. He's already given you those instructions. It's the world that's causing things to be heavier for you, not Him. When you do what He says, the burden is light. When you do what He says, you can rest easy. He's waiting for you right now with open arms, so go to Him. Whatever it is that you're carrying, it could be a financial burden, a medical burden, a relationship burden, something's going wrong with your kids, with your family, with your wife, whatever. Give it to Him. Stop carrying all that by yourself. Find some friends and give it to them. Let them share the load with you. But don't carry it by yourself anymore. You don't have to. So just like the backpacker who wants to make sure every single ounce is only what has to be carried and all the rest gets left behind, do the same in your own life. It's time to let some of those things go. And while you're online, head over to Amazon and check out my book, Jesus Man to Man. It's a book I wrote of questions and answers, a conversation between me and Jesus. It was very hard to write. It was very challenging to write. but I think it's an important book, and I'd appreciate it if you go check it out. You can find that at Amazon. Just search at Amazon.com. Just search Jesus Man to Man, written by Warren Peterson, and you'll find it there. All right. Please be sure to subscribe to this show wherever you watch or listen. You could watch on YouTube. You could listen on all the podcast platforms. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, review, all those things. Leave your comments, share it. It helps other people find the show. So thank you for that. Okay. Enjoy the next show.